you need to see something from a bigger perspective. Some of you are off mission, so to speak. You're keeping yourselves small, but this is where that clog in the crown chakra is coming. So we want to open the crown chakra, open up that connection to your sense of universal purpose, to your mission and purpose in itself, to divine remembrance, to the sacred knowledge in your soul. There is something trying to come to light, to your conscious awareness, but the migraines will happen when there's a deep energetic block or resistance to receiving that knowing. For some of you, this is a rejection of your own wisdom in itself. So paying attention to where you grew up being told that you weren't smart enough or you couldn't trust yourself. Those are going to be really important beliefs to shift and to come back into this trust with yourself and reclamation of your own inner wisdom. That is the main cause of recurring migraines. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to continue with our series of channeling the energetic roots of different health issues. So you can go back and listen to part 1 that we did recently. I had asked on Instagram for people to send in any health issues they were having and to see what we could channel around those. So we did a few in a previous episode and there were so many responses sent in that I want to continue with this. So as I explained before, when I am channeling related to these different issues, the way that I am doing this is I'm pulling from a few different frequency streams. So I work with a group of different ascended masters and light beings who are specifically coming forward when I ask who wants to support us with healing and helping to heal our physical bodies, pulling that information, combining with the frequency of the actual health issue itself and energetically seeing it in the body and reading the field in that way. So those are the different places that I'm pulling from, and I'm going to close my eyes and drop in, and my trusty friend Tyler here will read off some of the responses that were sent in, and we'll see how many we can get through in this episode, and we'll continue with this because we probably won't get through all of them in this. So don't worry. As always, this is not medical advice. This is not advice. Always consult your practitioner, your doctor, and so on and so forth. This is just what I'm channeling. Take it or leave it. This is general intuitive reads. And I'll also add that as somebody who's done thousands and thousands of readings, a lot of people come in with similar health issues, as in I see it again and again, and there is always a nuance for every single individual person, but we're going to read into some generalities here and trust that you will receive what you are meant to. So I would really pay attention to the energy that you feel through this transmission and your own intuitive guidance, and knowing that might come through as you receive this, and any healing frequencies that are coming through naturally through this that are available for you to receive, because that happens as well. I have had many people in our community share that they have had spontaneous healings while listening to my channelings. So be open to what's possible for you. All right, I'm going to drop in and we are gonna get started. Okay, Tyler, where do you want to start?
Okay, first up on this list, recurring migraines.
For a lot of you, this will be your crown chakra is blocked. There's something that is trying to come through your intuitive awareness, whether this is your intuitive abilities or a past life memory or past life soul knowing trying to come online. For some of you, this is a blind spot in your life, something that you are not willing to look at, but there's a clog in your crown chakra. Migraines, and was there a second part?
No, just recurring migraines.
Recurring migraines. There's a clog in the crown chakra. Looking at the rest of this, that's going to be the primary thing. So for some of you, this is going to be connected to not being really stabilized in your beliefs about the universe and what you believe is true about consciousness and source. So really asking yourself those deep questions and coming to your own conclusions about what you believe, whatever those beliefs are, that can cause recurring migraines. But there is a nudge toward you need to see something from a bigger perspective. Some of you are off mission, so to speak. You're keeping yourselves small, but this is where that clog in the crown chakra is coming. So we want to open the crown chakra, open up that connection to your sense of universal purpose, to your mission and purpose in itself, to divine remembrance, to the sacred knowledge in your soul. There is something trying to come to light, to your conscious awareness, but the migraines will happen when there's a deep energetic block or resistance to receiving that knowing. For some of you, this is a rejection of your own wisdom in itself. So paying attention to where you grew up being told that you weren't smart enough or you couldn't trust yourself. Those are going to be really important beliefs to shift and to come back into this trust with yourself and reclamation of your own inner wisdom. That is the main cause of recurring migraines. Some of you will also experience this because of chemical sensitivity, so strong sensitivity to different chemicals in the environment. VOCs, building materials is really common. So you'll look at those spiritual components of where am I not open to receiving information? Where am I blocking myself from knowing the truth? Where am I off on the path? And my physical body and energy body are trying to pull me back onto the path, but whereas my environment perhaps also out of alignment, and starting to piece together the people and places that it is triggered by will be a component for some of you. Usually this will be one of those or the other. It's not typically both.
Okay, next on this list, we have random skin irritations / skin rashes.
Skin irritations could be a number of things, but let's go with skin rashes as the type of skin irritations. It's always helpful the more specific these are. Skin rashes is going to be something in your energetic environment that is irritating you. So an irritation and boundary is a big one. So typically somewhere where your relationships, and this is often going to come up with family dynamics, people are crossing your boundaries or you're feeling suppressed or suffocated by somebody's wants, their needs. There's a controlling energy happening. So we want to look at those boundaries where you are not feeling safe in yourself to stand up for what you need, for what you desire. That can also cause the rashes. There might be something that you're consuming that's causing an irritation and needs to get out of the body. And so this can be with, often this has to do with content you're consuming more than anything else. Of course, this can all be related to food, but we're looking at an energetic irritation. Food is an energy. So when there's a food energetic irritation, it's mirroring when there is a life irritation, which is why a lot of you who are used to healing your bodies through food, you might have noticed through your lives, you have learned how to adjust your diet to change physical symptoms. You might actually notice it's not working as well anymore because you have to still learn the lesson. And so the more you raise your vibration and the deeper you are on this journey, you're going to recognize that a lot of those physical changes aren't necessarily creating the physical results that you want because the energy has to be moved because your body is sending you a message that needs to be received. And it goes beyond just food. So this will also be for people who have energy bodies that are more sensitive in texture, in fragrance, again, going back to different chemicals in the field, your body in itself, and this will connect back to food, but it connects back to also energy. So that's people, that's social media, that's music, that's movies. Your body is very particular about what it requires to feel good. And so you want to tap into the energy of it's smooth, it's silky, it's softening, it's very gentle. That frequency of gentleness is what your energy body needs in terms of relationships, in terms of content you might be consuming, in terms of gentleness in your schedule. And so looking at where there's a lot of friction in your life, and where you are forcing things, where you are moving too fast and there wants to be a slower pace, where you are adding too many things in. Again, with a sensitive system, this is going to do best with less inputs, whether that's with music or food or people. This is going to do better one thing at a time, gently, more present, not too many inputs at the same time. That can really irritate you, and you need to be aware of how things are making you feel. And so there is also a call to slow down about how this is actually making me feel in this exact moment, so that you can actually put together those patterns, versus when you have too many confounding variables, you can't tell what is causing energetic friction in your system. And the rashes will also indicate where your body is trying to get you to slow down and process more and start to put together in your environment the things that are crossing your boundaries and pushing you into an energy of that friction, of that resistance, of that forcing, of that trying to move faster, trying to try harder. That kind of effortful energy is what is causing too much heat or energy in the system. And that's where we want to release that, so that you are operating from your flow, not the flow of somebody else, because it's really indicating where you are operating off of somebody else's desires for you instead of your own.
Okay, this person asked, is there anything really behind the placement / quantity of moles, freckles, or birthmarks?
Yes, different. And one aspect of this is soul memory. So soul prints, call them soul prints on your body. So soul prints in terms of whether it's freckles or birthmarks or moles. So these can be places where energy is condensed. Energy can be condensed in those areas because of a specific soul gift related to the deeper meaning behind that part of the body. It can be related to another incarnation where that soul gift energy concentrated. It can be connected also to traumas from past lifetimes. So coming into this body, sometimes there might be a birthmark or a mole in areas where you were pierced or hurt or had a high energetic concentration. But there is a patterning with different marks on your body, always scars. These are all important frequency imprints, and they are forming something similar to how you perceive the stars in the sky. And so the stars in the sky in a certain formation are helpful to you, aren't they? They're helpful to you. You have learned how to map timing. You have learned how to map energies from the stars in the sky, because they're in a specific format. And so it is the same with your frequency energetic printing in terms of different marks on your body and storing different energies. It can be very helpful to zoom out and start to notice these different marks as if you were observing the stars in the sky, and start to notice patterns and energies. If you are noticing that things are heavier on one side of the body than the other, understanding your feminine side of your body and your masculine, and starting to piece together where some energies are heavier. There's typically more energy flow in that area in terms of the actual energy body. There's more circulation. That's not a negative or positive thing. It's just a thing, because everybody's energy flows a little bit differently. There can also be soul memory stored in these areas. So there's soul wisdom connected to the frequency imprints through things like freckles or like your birthmarks. Can actually be very, very helpful to place your hands on your birthmarks or your freckles and receive the frequency transmission, send healing energy, because every mark might mean a different thing. So there might be an energy that's ready to be cleared or released. There might be wisdom that's ready to be made conscious for you. So there can be different meanings, but they always are an energetic print, and they are part of what contributes to your frequency signature with manifestation and sending out your energetic signal in this world. And so these are all very unique to you, and we would invite you to embrace them all and to see what wisdom and energy they have to offer you to support you in understanding yourself as a soul being in this physical vessel.
Urinary incontinence.
This can be a number of reasons, but there's a nervousness, there's a nervous energy in the system. And so when we look at the flow of energy, typically there's a lack of grounding, and we want the energetic infrastructure to come in and be tighter and more solid. So sometimes the energetic infrastructure can get loosened up. So this could be with looser boundaries would be one example, but really it's more of too much energy flow without a solid claim in the ground, stake in the ground. This is who I am. This is what I stand for, can be another example. But when you're actually looking at the energetic circuits, it can start to expand out a little bit too much instead of being where they're meant to be in terms of their energy flow. So we want to ground in. We want to pull the field in a little bit to strengthen it and to build that muscle of energy flow, but also looking at what are you itching to get out of. So there's typically something that wants to get out of the field, that's in the field, that's irritating the energy field. So this could be a person, a place. We want to do those two things to bring that together. And those are the main energetic aspects.
All right. Light sensitivity.
As in with eyes?
Yes.
Okay. One could be trauma, past life trauma, current life trauma that has not been healed or worked on. So you'll be more sensitive to the light. This can be parts of yourself that you do not want to look at as well. So when you are uncomfortable with parts of yourself or rejecting parts of yourself, you'll have light sensitivity. It can also be a built-in mechanism for you to know when you've had enough light. There is a built-in mechanism for you to know when there is enough light. And so at times when there is too much for your, and you could call it your skin or eyes, but it's really receiving of frequency codes that does have to do with your hormonal balance, for example. But when we're just looking at the energetic perspective, you want the optimal balance of everything. Same thing with frequency healing in general. You can have too much of too strong of a frequency. So it's all about your body staying in optimal energetic balance. And so you'll also sometimes feel more sensitive when you are not requiring more of those codes. Sometimes when you are extremely deficient in those light codes, you'll feel more sensitive at first because you need to readjust. Sometimes the light, and we're saying this because it's a non-specific question, but sometimes the light that you are perceiving, if they are artificial lights, are not in vibrational alignment with your field, and they might be zapping life force from you or just not a frequency match, which can make you feel more drained or cause distortions in your field. Sometimes it's a natural mechanism of not needing to look at those lights. In this day and age, so many of you are around bright lights, fluorescent lights, lights from screens, and some of you, your fields are strong enough to detoxify from these energies. Others are more sensitive to these, and so you will feel more sensitive. It's important to not compare yourself to what you think you should be and just honor how your energy field works, how your individual body works, because your body is trying to guide you to what's in highest alignment for you. Let's see if there's anything else with sun sensitivity. If your third eye is desiring to open, but you are resisting the opening of your knowing, you are afraid to know, this can also cause light sensitivity. These are the main factors.
All right. Creaky, popping knees.
Typically we'll say, how do we want to say this? Creaky, popping knees. Unsure, we'll use that. Unsure about support in your life. Wanting to lean in, but not knowing if it's safe. So on a deeper level, working on that sense of safety and really tuning into learning that you can be safe, that you are safe to be supported, allowing the divine to support you, allowing your higher self to support you, and looking at people in your life in the now. Are they here to support you? Some of you, it might be a call to remove people, to clear people. Some of you, it is a moment for you to recognize that they are here for you so that you can repattern some things. So the creaky popping knees is going to ask you to look at your sense of surrender. Are you willing to surrender, or are you consistently trying to force your way through? When the signs are coming in, do you keep pushing through because your mind says this, or an old intuitive message says this? What is the current message? Because there is a deeper lesson to surrender to the now, to surrender to what's happening now, and to allow yourself to move in alignment with the flow from what is in the now instead of resisting it or trying to force. And so you are, and this is all connected. This is an inquiry of my relationship with surrender. This is an inquiry with my relationship with safety. Am I feeling safe and solid in myself, or am I not? Typically with this, there needs to be a moment of recalibration, of resting, of recovering, of inner healing, of coming back in a more fortified energy with a more balanced schedule. And so if your schedule is out of alignment with the natural rhythms of your body, you will experience this as well. There can also be an energy here of hidden doors, hidden secrets somewhere in the closet, in the family line, for an example. Is there something that wants to be revealed, or a secret that you're carrying that is not yours to carry? Hidden doors in terms of things for you to find out, things to find out about yourself, things to find out about your family. There's a secrecy energy that can also be present that is desiring to come forward. And so if you set the intention that you are willing to see the truth, allowing that to come forward in the most beautiful, aligned way will be supportive as well.
Hyperhidrosis, overly sweaty armpits. Been a problem for years.
One part is trying to get out of your body. So exploring the relationship that you have with being on this earth plane, for you being in this body. So 1 on the earth, 2 in the actual body you're in, which might be about your body itself, which might mean about the family or the life circumstances you're in. And there's a piece of you that is not wanting to be in the body. This can be part of it. The other piece is overly processing other people's emotions, but not having the right emotional practices within yourself to process those emotions. So within you, there needs to be a deeper inquiry or exploration of your emotional processing patterns and systems. Are you actually dropping in deeply to move with that energy, to release what's no longer serving you? Or are you laughing it off, joking it off? Often there can be a connection with the type of person that likes to just make a joke out of it, doesn't want to take anything too seriously. So you have to learn the correct, healthy emotional processing for you. And also, again, those healthy boundaries in terms of you can observe other people and have compassion and hold space, but that is different than you taking it all on for yourself. But there's typically feelings that need to be felt in a deeper way within you. The other part of this can be that the diet is out of alignment with the energy of the body. So looking into Chinese medicine can be really helpful here as a supportive understanding in terms of heating foods and cooling foods, because you want the optimal balance there for how hot your body is, how cool it is, how damp it is, how dry it is. And so looking into the Chinese medicine approach with this, with your diet, can help bring things into balance as well.
All right, this might be the last one, but let's do gum recession / gum inflammation.
You've got to surrender to the transformation that you're in and into the wisdom that you're here to embody. You have to allow the truths to come forward through you. Allow yourself to speak your truth, allow yourself to own your truth, allow your soul wisdom to come online. It's trying to come through. This can be connected to your deepest pain, to your deepest knowing, to your deepest gifts. There's an intense depth to this in terms of what's connected to the teeth. This is also going to be where you're extremely sensitive to inflammation in food. That will be individual to the person, but it's indicating to where there's general inflammation in the body. But what it's connected to on the energetic level is a resistance to, like, the inflammation is a resistance to where you are not embodying your wise man, wise woman, sage energy. where there are truths that need to come to light. Intense truths. There's an intensity to this. There's an itching of this has to exit my field. This has to move through me. This has to be spoken. There's an urgency to it that has to come online. And so a lot of this is going to be about your throat chakra activation, your throat chakra opening. This can be really confronting for many people when you realize just how open your throat chakra really needs to be. There's going to be a change in the way that you communicate. You might be someone who has to be more blunt, more open, has to feel open. And so if you hold things back, if you're overthinking a lot, this will cause a lot of that inflammation. Cut down on the overthinking and just share, just express, of course, with love and learning to do that with love, but not withholding from your throat chakra is going to be key for this.
Let's do endometriosis.
Endometriosis. Rejection of the self. Often rejection of your feminine energy. So whether that is whatever the feminine essence is for you that you reject. This might be something related to your mother that you also see within yourself that you are rejecting as that aspect within yourself. It could be any personality trait. This can also be a rejection of your emotional sensitivity. This can be a rejection of your sense of flow, your need for flow. So this is often where people are committed to being in their masculine energy more. Again, feminine, masculine energy, everybody has both. Being in the energy of go, 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 of rigidity, often trying to force yourself in a box in some way. So putting yourself in a box, trying to brand yourself, identify in some way instead of allowing yourself to continue to become and to honor the softer part of you, the more rhythmic part of you, the more sensitive part of you. There is something deep within yourself when there's endometriosis of a rejection. And this will be very connected to the mother line, the ancestral line, and often there can be deep karma to clear related to this. There can be ancestral baggage to clear in terms of it is not yours to carry anymore. Even rejection of the line in terms of patterns from the women in your line. This can come up with endometriosis. But endometriosis is asking you to drop deeper into your divine femininity. It's asking you to drop deeper into your sexuality and sensuality. And so along with the rejection theme, the rejection of your sexuality in terms of allowing yourself to be a sensual being, allowing yourself to be in your body and to be sensual and to have sexual desire. So religious programming can come in a lot here, or any type of programs or learnings that are, I have to show up this way to be perfect. So a lot of the good girl energy. If I'm this way, I'm good. I have to be humble in the way that your society has told you is humble, which is not in alignment with the divine definition of humility. Learning that you need to suppress yourself or show up in this more logical left-brained, I do this, and then I'm successful. And so endometriosis is a cry from the body to drop into your body, to drop into your sensuality, your senses, how things feel, to drop into your cycles and rhythms, to explore the parts of yourself that you are rejecting. And there's an energy of irritation of, oh, this is slowing me down, of, oh, I'm not going to be good enough if I do less. And so it is a real call to drop into your cycles and to drop into the feminine essence everybody has in terms of feeling their way through. There are often strong sacral codes here that are looking to be activated with endometriosis. It can also be connected to past life trauma of losing a child. Often this is stored in the body, particularly when the loss of the child is also connected to the loss of the life in another incarnation and coming into this incarnation without having that been healed, because it was how you exited another incarnation, can come up with endometriosis. But this is a real exploration of the divine feminine, which is not just about being soft and slow, but also fiery and feisty, all the different archetypes of the divine feminine. But there is an area that you're not wanting to let yourself go in because of an archetype of whatever you think the good girl is, or whatever you think makes you seem more successful. And so that is being asked to be dropped, and for you to relearn what it is to live as the true you, where you are claiming the divine feminine wisdom that wants to flow through you, again, connected to mother archetype? Can you claim mother archetype, which can live in everyone? It doesn't matter what gender or sex. It doesn't matter if you have biological children or not. A mother archetype anybody can hold, and that archetype is asking to be looked at. Mother archetype can show up in how you move through the world with anything that you are doing. And there are different aspects of mother archetype, but that is going to be a very important archetype to explore and to drop into, bringing you into closer relationship with your body and also with the divine feminine itself, the divine mother in itself. And that is going to create a new safety in the energy body, which creates healing in the physical body.
All right, we'll wrap it on that one.
Okay, perfect. All right. Hope that was helpful. We'll keep going because I know there are more. There are more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there will be more. So we'll keep going with these, but let me know how this lands, if this is helpful for you. And I appreciate everybody who sent in the prompts, and we will continue. So thanks for hanging out with me again today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll chat with you again next time.